Have you ever felt like someone was watching you, but you couldn't quite prove it? Maybe it's a neighbor who always seems to appear when you open your door. Maybe they know things you never told them. Or maybe it's just a strange shift, like a package moved, a curtain slightly drawn, a detail so small it's easy to ignore, until it happens again. In this video, we'll explore 5 escalating signs that your neighbor isn't just being nosy. They're watching you, closely, quietly, and in ways that can silently erode your sense of safety, even in your own home. But here's the twist. Most people only recognize the final sign when it's already too late. That's why what you'll hear in the last part of this video may be the most important warning you've never considered. Through the lens of Stoic philosophy, we're not here to spread fear. We're here to teach you how to observe without emotion, respond with clarity, and reclaim control over your space and your peace of mind. So, if you've ever second-guessed your instincts, this is your moment to listen closely. And if you find value in protecting your peace, don't forget to subscribe to Stoic Focus, where ancient wisdom meets modern vigilance. Part 1. When your gut speaks, don't dismiss those coincidences, home. It's supposed to be the one place where you can breathe, where you can let your guard down, take off the armor of daily life, and simply exist. But what happens when your sanctuary begins to feel like a stage? When the line between privacy and exposure becomes so blurred that you start questioning your own instincts? Let's get one thing clear. Feeling watched isn't always paranoia. Sometimes it's perception sharpened by experience. And in a world where boundaries are increasingly invisible, you must ask yourself, are you paying attention to the signs? Or are you brushing them off for the sake of being polite? Stoic philosophy teaches us not to jump to conclusions, but it also teaches us not to ignore what is right in front of us. Epictetus once said, "We have 2 ears and 1 mouth, so that we can listen twice as much as we speak." But what about the ears within the inner voice that quietly warns us when something feels off? Imagine this every time you step out of your house. You see your neighbor, not once in a while, not occasionally, every single time. Early morning jog. They're there. Midnight trash run. Somehow, they're just grabbing the mail. You take your dog for a walk at 5 a.m. Boom, they're watering the lawn. Coincidence? Maybe the first time, even the second time. But what about the 5th, the 10th, the 20th? I once spoke with a retired judge, someone who spent his life weighing evidence, assessing credibility, and seeing through pretense. He told me a story about how he began to suspect his neighbor was tracking his movements. It wasn't a dramatic discovery. It was subtle. Every time he stepped outside, no matter the time, his neighbor would appear within minutes. It wasn't threatening at first, but it was consistent. Consistent enough that he started writing it down. After a week, the pattern was undeniable. 13 out of 15 exits from his home were met with a coincidental encounter, and with that, he realized he was no longer alone. His privacy had been quietly hijacked. Now here's where Stoicism becomes not just a mindset, but a tool. It tells us to observe without judgment, to perceive without panic. It doesn't tell us to label someone as malicious, but it does tell us to notice when behavior crosses the boundary of normal human interaction. Marcus Aurelius said, "If someone does wrong, it's their problem, but it's my problem if I don't respond with reason." So, Let's respond with reason. Start logging what you notice. No need for anything fancy. A simple notes app entry will do. Date, time, what happened, how often, how consistent. You'll be surprised how quickly data tells a story. And once it does, the question is no longer, am I imagining things, but what am I going to do about it? One woman I know, a young professional living alone, had a similar experience. Her neighbor always seemed to be near her front door, whether she left early, late, or unexpectedly. So she started changing her routine. She left home earlier, came back at odd hours, even used the back entrance every single time. The neighbor adjusted. That's not curiosity. That's a calculated observation. This is where Stoic thinking becomes essential. It grounds you. You don't react with fear, you respond with structure. You don't escalate, you investigate. And you certainly don't explain away things that clearly undermine your sense of security. You see, the Stoic doesn't seek to control others, but they do control how they respond to the world. When that world starts intruding on their peace, it's not paranoia to act, it's wisdom. Set tests if you need to. Adjust your habits. Change your routine for a few days and observe whether they adapt. Does your neighbor show up at the same time even when you deliberately switch your schedule? Do they always happen to be there when you open the door? Coincidence is random, but patterns mean someone is watching. Stoicism also reminds us to focus only on what is within our power. You may not be able to change your neighbor's behavior, but you can change your awareness. You can install a simple camera. You can take notes. You can speak with trusted friends or community members. You can build a record. And most importantly, you can trust your gut. Stoicism doesn't mean being emotionless. It means using emotion as a signal, not a decision maker. That feeling of discomfort when you run into your neighbor for the third time in a day, that's your body giving you data. And it would be a mistake to ignore it. In ancient Rome, generals would change their routes daily, not out of paranoia, but out of prudence. They knew that patterns make you predictable, and predictability makes you vulnerable. So if you're noticing consistent coincidences, don't rationalize them away. Start by recognizing what they are, the first sign that your private life may no longer be entirely private. This isn't about panic. It's about your power. And reclaiming that starts not with confrontation, but with clarity. You're not just imagining things. You're noticing things. And in a world filled with distractions and denial, noticing is your first defense. So if you've ever wondered whether your neighbor's friendly behavior is hiding something more, don't ignore that wondering. Explore it, examine it, test it. Because Stoicism isn't just about enduring hardship. It's about preparing for it, not with fear, but with reason. And reason starts now. Part 2. When technology becomes the silent witness to your life. We live in an age where our homes are smarter, our phones are always listening, and even our doorbells can talk back. But with that convenience comes a dark side, a reality where the very tools designed to protect our privacy can be turned against us. And sometimes the person turning them against you lives just a few feet away, not in a government building or a corporate skyscraper, but in the house next door. You might think it sounds dramatic, But ask yourself how much of your life is connected to Wi-Fi. How many devices are listening, tracking, or watching without your explicit permission? And what if your neighbor knows how to tap into those devices better than you do? Stoic philosophy teaches us that we shouldn't fear what we can't control, but we must recognize what threatens our peace of mind. And in today's world, digital intrusion is one of the most subtle and dangerous threats to our mental clarity. Let me share a story. There was a family who noticed their Wi-Fi signal would consistently drop every time they went into their backyard. It didn't seem like a big deal at first, just a minor inconvenience. But as the problem continued, they got curious. After weeks of troubleshooting, they discovered something shocking. Their neighbor had installed a signal jammer near the property line to intentionally disrupt their devices whenever they were outside. Why? Because he didn't want to hear their conversations. This wasn't about noise. It was about control. And here's the thing, you don't need to be a tech genius to invade someone's digital life. A strategically placed smartphone can record conversations from another room. A security camera pointed just slightly off-center can monitor your front porch, your driveway, even your living room window. The line between protection and surveillance has never been thinner. Stoicism reminds us to observe reality as it is, not as we wish it to be. And the reality is this: your neighbor might not be just watching you through a window. They could be watching you through your own network, your own devices, or your own ignorance of digital security. So how do you tell if someone is digitally snooping? Start by checking the angles of nearby cameras. Is your neighbor's security cam aimed at your front door instead of theirs? Does their doorbell camera conveniently capture your entire entryway? Have you noticed small devices, what look like bird watchers or weather sensors, suddenly appear near your garden or window? Surveillance tools are smaller and cheaper than ever. A hidden camera today can be the size of a shirt button. Take a walk around your property with fresh eyes. What do you see now that you've stopped assuming everything is normal? And what about the digital signs? Have you noticed new Wi-Fi networks popping up on your phone, then disappearing just as quickly? Networks with odd names like Surveillance Van 3 might sound like a joke, but any unfamiliar signal with strong coverage could be a rogue device planted to intercept yours. Or maybe your phone battery is draining faster than usual. Maybe your smart speaker suddenly lights up when you didn't say anything. Maybe your smart TV or thermostat starts acting on its own. All of this might feel like something out of a Netflix thriller, but it's not paranoia. It's pattern recognition. And Stoicism teaches us to recognize patterns, not ignore them. Let me offer a practical example. A woman once noticed her neighbor casually asking about things she never mentioned out loud, like a recent online purchase or a private medical issue discussed only in a Zoom call. It made no sense until she realized that her home office window was directly across from the neighbor's second-story bedroom. And every time she was on a video call, she kept the blinds open, assuming privacy. She had no idea her life had become part of someone else's daily observation. What can you do? First, protect your digital perimeter. Change your Wi-Fi passwords, regularly update your router firmware, turn off unused smart devices, enable two-factor authentication wherever possible. And yes, use a VPN especially when working from home or discussing sensitive matters online. Second, Check access logs on your smart devices. Most modern systems will show if an unknown device has recently connected or attempted to control your home tech. If you find unfamiliar activity, don't ignore it. Third, monitor behavior. If your neighbor reacts to something you've only done or said in a private setting, it's time to take action. Mention something untrue but believable within your home. Say, a fake vacation plan or a fake delivery. If they later bring it up, that's not coincidence. That's confirmation. Finally, understand that your sense of safety is not irrational. The modern Stoic doesn't panic, but they don't live in denial either. Marcus Aurelius urged us to know what is within our control and to act with intention and clarity. If your digital life feels invaded, it probably is. Technology is a double-edged sword. It can empower you. It can also betray you, especially when you don't understand how it works or who's quietly exploiting your blind spots. But here's what separates the wise from the anxious awareness. Awareness turns fear into action. It transforms helplessness into strategy. The Stoic doesn't wait for the storm, they prepare for it calmly, confidently, and consistently. So, prepare. Not because you're afraid, but because you understand the cost of being careless in a world where information is power. And the people who seek to control you will always begin by learning more about you than you know about them. The question is, will you notice in time? Let this be your reminder to look up. Check your surroundings, audit your habits, fortify your digital and emotional boundaries. Your home deserves to be your sanctuary, not someone else's surveillance hub. Because in the end, the Stoic doesn't just guard their mind, they guard their peace. And peace is worth protecting. Part 3. When they know too much. Drawing the line with silent eavesdroppers. There's a moment we all dread, that instant when someone says something about us they shouldn't know. Not a guess, not a coincidence, but a detail so specific, so personal, that it sends a chill down your spine. Maybe they reference a private medical issue, a recent purchase, or something you only mentioned once in a hushed conversation. That's when the alarm bells start ringing, not because of what they said, but because you never told them. And you begin to ask yourself, how do they know that? Here's the hard truth sometimes. People aren't just being curious. They're collecting data. Slowly, quietly, systematically. This is the third sign your neighbor may be doing more than watching. They may be listening, and not in the metaphorical sense. Stoic philosophy teaches us to be alert to the things that are within our control and mindful of those that aren't. You may not be able to control what your neighbor does, but you can and must control what you share, where you say it, and who might be hearing more than they should. Let me share a real-world example. A young woman living in an apartment complex began to feel like her neighbor knew a little too much. It started with small talk that seemed oddly specific. The neighbor casually asked, "Did your sister get that new job in Phoenix?" She froze. She hadn't told anyone her sister had moved, hadn't even posted it online. It had only come up in a late-night phone call with her mom, spoken quietly behind closed windows. Coincidence? Possibly, but when it happened again and again, the pattern became undeniable. One day, she tested a theory. She walked past the shared wall between their apartments and spoke loudly about a fake weekend getaway she wasn't planning. A few days later, the neighbor smiled and said, "Hope you enjoy your trip." That's not friendliness. That's surveillance. As Stoics, we are trained to observe without judgment, but not without action. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Don't allow yourself to be misled by appearances. Instead, stay alert to what's being revealed. If someone is revealing knowledge about your life they shouldn't have, that's not just a red flag, it's a boundary violation." So how does this happen? Sometimes it's through thin walls. Sometimes it's through intentional eavesdropping. Sometimes it's by digitally monitoring your online activity. And in more concerning cases, it might involve hidden devices, audio recorders, baby monitors, even hacked smart home speakers. But there's another layer. Some neighbors build a detailed psychological map of your life, not with devices, but through questions disguised as casual conversation. They ask what time you usually go to work, whether your kids have soccer practice, what nights your spouse works late, and slowly, without realizing it, you've handed them a blueprint of when your house is empty, how predictable your schedule is, and when you're most vulnerable. This is where modern Stoicism becomes essential. Seneca reminds us, "He who is everywhere is nowhere." When you give your information away carelessly, you give away your power. If you want peace of mind, you must reclaim your informational discipline. So, what should you do? First, audit your environment. Walk through your home and identify where your conversations might carry shared walls, windows, vents. Then ask yourself, are you using smart devices that could be accessed remotely? Are there cameras or microphones in rooms where you assume privacy? Second, set boundaries in conversation. Be aware of neighbors who ask more questions than they answer. If you notice someone digging too deep, gently shift the conversation. You don't owe anyone your schedule, your relationships, or your routines. Third, go silent where it matters. In ancient times, Stoics trained themselves to speak only when necessary and to speak with intention. That principle is more powerful today than ever. In your own home, be strategic. Use white noise near shared walls. Use curtains or acoustic panels near open windows. And when in doubt, don't say it where it can be overheard. And if you want to test the waters, do what the young woman did. Plant a believable but false detail. If it comes back to you through your neighbor's lips, you've confirmed your suspicion. Here's the deeper truth. It's not about the information itself. It's about the violation of trust. The damage comes not from what they know, but from how they came to know it. And the deeper cost is emotional, the constant awareness that you're not alone. Even when you're alone, that your private moments may not be as private as you thought. The Stoic path is not to panic, but to protect. You must become the guardian of your peace. And peace begins with control over what you expose and who you allow into your informational space. If you've ever felt that your neighbor knows just a little too much, stop brushing it off. That unease you feel, that's your subconscious noticing something your rational mind hasn't caught up to yet. Don't wait until it escalates. Don't wait until they're tracking your every move. You are not overreacting. You're recognizing something real. Privacy is not paranoia. It's protection. And as a Stoic, your duty is to preserve your inner citadel, your peace, your clarity, your sense of self. You don't have to confront. You don't have to accuse, but you must prepare. Because those who map your life without your permission are not being friendly. They're being invasive. And if you don't push back now quietly, rationally, and firmly, then one day you may look up and realize there's nothing left that's truly yours. So, draw the line. Guard your words. Guard your habits. Guard your space. Because a Stoic doesn't just protect their mind, they protect the silence that makes peace possible. Part 4. When the evidence speaks. Physical signs that can't be ignored. There's a unique kind of dread that comes when suspicion turns into certainty. When the quiet, gnawing feeling that someone's watching becomes real, not through a hunch, not through digital clues, but through something you can see with your own eyes and touch with your own hands. Because sometimes it's not just about strange behavior or unexpected knowledge. Sometimes it's about physical evidence, tiny, out-of-place details that whisper, someone has been here. Stoic philosophy tells us not to fear the unknown, but to face it with clarity. And when clarity reveals that your privacy has been breached in the real, tangible world, that is the moment when preparation must turn into action. Let's start with the small signs. You leave your house and return to find your welcome mat slightly shifted, your curtain drawn a little more to the left, a garden tool placed in a way you don't remember. Maybe it's nothing. Maybe you're overthinking it. But here's the thing. Maybe you're not. Stoicism doesn't encourage paranoia. It teaches discernment. It asks us to question not out of fear, but out of reason. As Marcus Aurelius said, the impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way. So what stands in the way here? It's your uncertainty. And the way forward is observation. One man told me how he always placed his shoes just inside the door, facing a certain direction, every day. They remained untouched until one day. He came home and noticed they'd been turned inward. No signs of forced entry, nothing stolen, just off. That was the moment he stopped brushing things off. He installed a camera within days. He had footage his neighbor letting himself in with a copy of the spare key he'd borrowed just once months ago. Always when no one was home, always quiet, always calculated. That man's mistake wasn't trusting someone. It was not listening to his instincts when things no longer felt right. This is the fourth sign your neighbor is not just watching, but actively invading your space. And it's not just indoors. You might notice packages delivered and placed in the usual spot, but found elsewhere. Mail that looks like it's been tampered with, a door that was locked, now ajar. Even something as subtle as a blind raised a couple inches higher than you remember can be telling. These are not dramatic changes. They're quiet distortions of normalcy. And that's what makes them so dangerous. Because the person doing this doesn't want to be caught. They want you to doubt yourself, to second guess, to hesitate just long enough for them to keep going. But you're not just anyone. You're here, learning to think like a Stoic. And the Stoic acts when the facts become clear. So, what can you do? First, set traps not for people, but for truth. Security professionals call them telltales. A small piece of paper tucked into your door frame that falls if the door opens, a hair placed delicately on a drawer, a pencil mark on the floor. If something shifts while you're away, you'll know. Second, document everything: dates, times, photos, videos. Anytime you find something out of place, log it. It might seem obsessive, but if this turns into a legal matter or worse, you'll be glad you kept a timeline. Third, install simple surveillance. Even a basic doorbell camera or a motion-activated recorder near the main entry points can do wonders. Not only to capture evidence, but to give you back the feeling of control. But here's what's harder: the emotional toll. When your personal space is violated, it doesn't just shake your routines, it shakes your identity. Your home stops feeling like a refuge. You find yourself listening for footsteps, checking windows twice, waking up at sounds that never used to bother you. The Stoic knows how to endure suffering, but also knows when to act to prevent unnecessary suffering. This breach, however small, is a line crossed, and the longer you let it slide, the more you teach the other person that you'll tolerate it. And that brings us to something deeper. A neighbor who starts by observing too often may escalate to using technology, and from there to physical intrusion. It's a progression, a slow slide from passive to active, from watching to trespassing. And every moment you don't respond, the next step becomes easier for them. The Stoic does not react emotionally, but they do respond decisively. Seneca said, "No person has the power to have everything they want, but it is in their power not to want what they don't have." You may not have the power to change your neighbor, but you have the power to draw the line and enforce it. Here's a simple thought experiment. If a stranger did what your neighbor is doing, would you tolerate it? Would you say, "It's probably nothing," or would you take action immediately? Because sometimes familiarity blinds us to danger. We think they live here. They're probably harmless. But probably is not protection. The Stoic perspective requires one clear understanding. Your home is an extension of your mind. If your physical space is under siege, your mental peace will follow. To protect one is to protect the other. So, if the signs are there, take them seriously. That welcome mat, that curtain, that mailbox. They may be whispering what your neighbor won't say out loud: "I've crossed into your space." Don't wait until it becomes louder. Don't wait until something disappears. Don't wait until your sense of safety is gone. Listen, observe, act, because a Stoic doesn't just protect their mind, they protect the ground beneath their feet. They protect the silence of their home. They protect the integrity of their daily life. So ask yourself, is something shifting in your space? And if it is, what are you going to do about it? Part 5. When curiosity turns to obsession. Recognizing the final red flag. This is the part no one wants to face. Because up until now, everything could still be explained away. Frequent appearances. Maybe they're just sociable. Digital oddities. Maybe a coincidence. Knowing too much. Maybe you shared more than you remember. Even the small changes around your property. Maybe it's all just forgetfulness. But this final sign, this is where the story changes. Because once a neighbor stops observing and starts intruding, Once they start acting on what they know or feel entitled to, you are no longer dealing with someone curious. You are now dealing with someone obsessed. Stoicism teaches us to meet reality as it is, not as we wish it to be. And the reality is that obsession doesn't appear overnight. It creeps in, it escalates, it feeds off your silence, it adapts to your tolerance. And worst of all, it hides in plain sight. You might notice that your neighbor is no longer just reacting to you. They're anticipating you. They know you're going out of town before you tell anyone. They show up with unsolicited gifts that align a little too well with your personal tastes. They start mirroring your behavior, copying your interests, trying to insert themselves into your life under the guise of friendship or protection. It feels suffocating, and it should. Because the final sign that your neighbor is watching you goes beyond surveillance. It's when they attempt to control or manipulate your boundaries altogether. Let me tell you about a woman I'll call Emily. She lived alone, was polite with her neighbors, and kept to herself. At first, the man next door just made small talk. Then came the random gifts, homemade cookies, handwritten notes, books he thought she'd like. Then he started commenting on her visitors, mentioning things she'd only said in passing, asking why she wasn't home on certain nights. It escalated until one day he let himself into her fenced backyard, uninvited, just to check on her flowers. When she confronted him, he smiled and said, "I just care about you. You're all alone out here. Let that sink in." This isn't about kindness. This is about erasing boundaries and testing what you will tolerate. And Stoicism has something to say about that. Epictetus warned, if someone can provoke you, understand that it is your judgment that allows the provocation to affect you. But he didn't mean you should ignore danger. He meant you should face it without panic. You must remain calm, but never passive. So, how do you respond when curiosity becomes fixation? First, start documenting everything, every strange interaction, every boundary crossed. Keep a timeline, take photos, record audio if needed. You are building a case not just for the authorities, but for your own clarity. Second, communicate clearly. If appropriate, tell your neighbor calmly and firmly that their behavior is making you uncomfortable. Sometimes, direct confrontation is enough to set the boundary. Sometimes, it's not. Either way, you must be on record as having drawn the line. Third, involve others. Talk to a trusted friend, a family member, a neighbor you trust. When you share your concerns, you get perspective and support. Isolation is the soil where obsession grows. Connection is what chokes it out. Fourth, know your rights. If your neighbor's behavior qualifies as stalking, harassment, or trespassing, the law is on your side. You can file for a restraining order. You can report disturbing behavior. You can contact local authorities. You are not overreacting. You are protecting your space. This is not about vengeance. It's about preservation. The Stoic does not seek drama, but the Stoic also does not surrender peace to those who prey on kindness. Let's go deeper. Sometimes, obsessive neighbors will try to isolate you not physically, but socially. They may gossip about you to others, try to discredit you, make themselves look like the victim. They want to control the narrative. They want you to feel alone so that they become your only ally. This is manipulation. and it's common in obsession. The Stoic mind must be razor sharp here. You must remain unmoved emotionally, but active logically. If someone attempts to cut you off from others while simultaneously intruding into your space, they are not a friend. They are a threat to your mental sovereignty. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The best revenge is not to be like your enemy." And he was right. You don't respond with chaos. You respond with control. And if you've gotten this far, if you've seen the signs, collected the proof, and felt the pressure it's time to act, not tomorrow, not next week, now. You deserve to feel safe in your home. You deserve to walk through your door without looking over your shoulder. You deserve to live without feeling watched. And if someone is robbing you of that, not with force, but with subtle erosion, it is your duty to draw the final boundary. Reclaim your space. Reclaim your peace. Reclaim your life. Because the Stoic doesn't just accept the world as it is, they reshape their response to protect what matters most. So ask yourself this right now. Have they crossed the line? And if they have, what are you going to do about it?